Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Recap, a guy's review, and as you see, we've got a video with Chris Bukowski speaking to Us Weekly, giving his opinion that nobody asked for. Speaking of opinions that nobody asked for, I'm going to share mine. No one's asked my opinion since 5th grade when they got rid of chocolate milk and I tried to, form a union back in the lunchroom. Well, you don't just get rid of chocolate milk in 5th grade. You got to ease on out. Maybe get rid of it on Tuesdays. Work it in. You don't just get rid of chocolate milk and expect me to enjoy 2% at recess afterwards. But I digress. So, here's the title. Bachelor Nation's Chris Bukowski doesn't think Chris Harrison should be fired amid controversy. I like to call it that, controversy. He's the face of the franchise, is what Chris Bukowski says. Okay, we got one straight white Chris sticking up for another straight white Chris. Look, let's dive right into this story here. Chris Bukowski, he's probably got more experience on The Bachelor than anybody, right? Like, if we switch over to Chris Bukowski, no, that's Gerard Butler. They look the same, though. This looks like more like Gerard Depardieu. That's what I like to call him, Depardieu. No, thank you. Who is Chris Bukowski on Bachelor in Paradise? A refresher on the formerly retired star. Pretty interesting to be retired from The Bachelor and then all of a sudden they have a hit new show in Mexico and you're like, I guess I'll dabble in that hot tub, put a little extra chlorine in there in case anyone's coming there with some extra disease. Does chlorine help with that? You know what I mean? HPV, just dash some chlorine on it. All right. It's a stupid story we're doing here. When the cast list was revealed for season 6 of BIP, you have noticed a face that you haven't seen on your television screen in a while. That was Chris Bukowski. So he, and again, this is from 2019. So he's been involved with different iterations of the show. We were first introduced to Chris during Emily Maynard's season of The Bachelorette. Oh boy, those were the days. Remember that vanilla toast? Emily Maynard, she was great. We liked her. She was fun. That was before my recap empire really took off. I say that lightly. Chris joined the cast of Bachelor Pad Season 3. I don't know. How does Bachelor Pad differ from Bachelor in Paradise? Let me know. They've for sure, look at these. This is, here we go. We have a lawyer right here, Erica Rose. She is the lawyer for, what's the guy's name? The Jonathan Taylor Thomas. What's his name? Jonathan Taylor. The guy who wasn't at the insurrection, but he told people to go, and he ended up going skiing. How's that lawsuit going? All right, let's move on. There's your boy Chris. Anyone else here we recognize? Boy, the real, just a whole bunch of hopefuls. This looks like a spring break photo that didn't need to be aired. But boy, do they have better abs than I do. I'll tell you that much. Mine are protected underneath a layer of pizza. All right, so let's dive into this story. He's been involved a lot. He must know Chris pretty well. Why does he want to speak his mind? What does he have to gain from it? A lot of people don't want to share their opinions because there's not much to gain right now with this story. Chris Bukowski has learned the ins and outs of Bachelor Nation after competing multiple times over the years, and he thinks the show's problems go further than Chris Harrison. All right, so that's his argument, is that, look, it's worse than Chris Harrison. You don't just kick him out and solve things. He says, I disagree with him being fired, the Bachelor in Paradise alum, 34. He's only 34? Oh my God, he looks, I know this isn't him, that's Gerard Depardieu. He looks, well, that's not a good photo, but he looks like he's 34 going on about 90, doesn't he? Is it just that, the Polish masculinity I'm not too familiar with? Oh, that's what a jawline looks like. All right, well, let's continue. See if I get any more comments. Dave, can you talk less? No, I can't. This is literally what I do. I drink coffee and I talk. He said, I disagree with him being fired. I think if you want to hold someone accountable, you don't give them the easy way out by firing them. Chris is the face of the franchise. I will agree with this. I'll agree here. I think there's more to learn by a larger collective of people if Chris gets his job back and uses his platform to share what he's learning, to share and promote a more diverse workplace in a more diverse story. Because part of the problem with The Bachelor isn't about crossing out, wow, we got a black bachelor, wow, we got a black contestant. It's about the stories that we tell. So, as I mentioned, we never got to really dive into the story of Maggie on the previous season of The Bachelor, which is really a shame because she's got the charity work she does with her home country in Ethiopia. I made a video yesterday about her. She's She's a beautiful model and also a pharmacist with a PhD. And most people don't know these things because they just flip over that and they go to the stupid drama and the infighting. So it's about the diversity of the stories that we tell on the show that I think will keep viewers watching. Like, it's almost like right now they're going for that sugar high. They want to get the quick bite. Oh, is this guy having a gay relationship with another contestant? I mean, they've been doing this stuff for years. You know what I mean? So rather than those quick sugar spikes, go the Oprah route and actually have meaningful stories that leave you like jaw dropped, emotionally just wrenched. You know what I mean? I think that's a better way to do it. And I think by keeping Chris Harrison, you do run the risk of alienating people that say, if you bring Chris back, I'll never come back. But you also invite the side of the audience that doesn't get why he has been put aside, why he has stepped aside. So I think it's important when it comes to the communication of everyone involved that he kind of is that shaman that leads people and goes, look, this is why I messed up. If you don't think I did, this is why. Just like Rachel Kirkconnell, I said, look, if you don't believe that I've messed up, come along with me on the journey. Because even if you don't believe I've messed up, we can still all learn something. So it's kind of like, I think, a way to kind of conception the idea into people rather than saying, he's fired, we're moving on. Well, then people go, wow, but they canceled him. You can't do that. I don't want to watch anymore. And it's like, let's just calm down there, Jeremy. Let's figure it out. The longtime Bachelor host initially announced in February he would be stepping aside for his role he held for 20 years. So the issue now is we know he is stepping aside from Bachelorette. I don't even know if they're going to call Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe co-hosts. I don't know if they're even going to use the host term or mentors or what they're going to be saying. But Bachelor in Paradise will be filming this summer. I'll do a separate video on that. It'll be filming this summer. And that's only a couple months away. That's really not that far away. So they need to decide what they're going to be doing. I'll make a next video who they might potentially have as a host, a former Bachelor contestant. But as far as right now, check in after this video for that one. Get that this afternoon. But as far as right now goes, let's see. This is what Chris had said. Bukowski believes that both of the former Bachelorettes know what they're doing. He admitted that he was confused by the replacement news. I think they're both, and this is in reference to Tayshia Adams and Kaitlyn Bristowe. I think they're both great, and I'm pretty interested in seeing how it goes. We're so used to seeing Chris on the show, so it's going to be a completely different kind of element going into the season, but I'm excited for them. Once the music gets playing, once the limo starts showing up with the wet pond water that they put on top of the driveway, I think we'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. There's shows all the time. Remember when they switched Vivian? Remember when they switched Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You go, that's a different Aunt Viv. Okay, something must happen in the negotiating room. Or when they switched the daughter, they got rid of the daughter from Boy Meets World. There's always something that happens and you go, okay, it's different. The brain can calculate, okay, it's different. You know what I mean? We're not that stupid. So yeah, it might be a little bit different. You're like, oh, that's not Chris Harrison. That's Tayshia Adams. Oh, but we know Tayshia Adams, and she can hand the rose over to her, and then she can pick the guy, and then we can watch the fantasy suite and pretend like we know how we would, deal with heartbreak. Because we don't, because we've never been in their shoes. I think they're both great, and I'm pretty interested to see how it goes. He says, okay, to the Bachelor Pad alum, swapping out Harrison for Bristowe, 35, and Adams, 30, is putting a Band-Aid on the situation. I do agree that it might be a Band-Aid on a situation, but I also think a Band-Aid isn't always a bad thing if you need to stop the bleeding and, prevent infection. It's not a bad thing to put a Band-Aid. I agree. It can't be the be-all, end-all. You can't just bring them in, then bring Chris Harrison back and you go back to normal. However, Bukowski might have a different perspective than others about what it looks like to hold a perfect letter author accountable. Why do they have to include the perfect letter? No one was wondering. I don't believe in cancel culture. Should Chris return to that role? You have to decide what's in the best interest of Chris Harrison. This is from Emmanuel Acho, 30, said on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert earlier this month. What's in the best interest of the show and the executive producers, but also what's in the best interest of the cast? They're trying to commit to diversity. What's in the best interest of all three of those primary parties at play and make the decision that serves the most good? So, Chris Harrison hires Brian Friedman, who has represented Gabrielle Union and a bunch of other people in entertainment law. Also, Cassie in the Cassie and Colton Underwood saga. So Chris Harrison's covering his butt. We'll see what happens with him. But as far as it's concerned with Chris Bukowski, the opinion no one asked for, look, I like hearing it. I like hearing people's opinions, even if it's coming from a white guy. I'm a white guy. I like to hear it. You know, it's nice to hear the opinions of people from all different aspects. It doesn't mean you have to value their opinion. It just goes, all right, now we know what Chris Bukowski thinks. He thinks that replacing Chris Harrison to bandaid on the situation, and that it would be better off to keep him and educate people with that face moving forward. Agree to disagree. I'm sure people will slam me for even mentioning this, but you know what I mean. We're just filling time. We're having fun. We're leaving comments. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll get to this on Bachelor in Paradise news after this. And that was your Chris Bukowski, Chris Harrison opinion segment. Bye, guys.